Hi, I'm Rob, this is James. We're here today at Malt HQ and we're going to talk about 3-vessel brewing.
Okay, Rob, so what is 3-vessel brewing?
Okay, what we've got here is basically a shrunken version of a commercial brewery.
Okay.
So basically exactly the same, just in smaller vessels. Okay, Jim, so how long have you been brewing? How did you start?
Yeah, so I've started brewing about 6 years ago now, Rob, and I started with a few extract kits, then I went on to kind of partial mash kits, then I went on to brewing the bag, but then after that, when I leveled up to kind of going completely all grain and full-size batches, I jumped straight into using an all-in-one system.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, well, there wasn't all-in-one systems really when I started brewing back in about 2008-ish. So we had to make all our equipment from the go really. It did a couple of things. It really taught you about the brewing process.
Yeah.
And 3-vessel was the way to go. It's for a specific customer.
Okay.
Basically, we're producing wort. You can produce wort however you want. You can do it using a brew in a bag, which is a really simple method. You can use a single vessel system like a Grainfather or Brew Tools, similar types of system, or you can go 3-vessel. It's just for a different type of customer.
Okay.
Hands-on brewing.
So Rob, you mentioned there that this system is something that would be maybe for a specific set of needs or a specific customer. In your experience, who does this really fit?
Customer can configure this system exactly how they want it, so it fits in with exactly how they want to brew.
Okay.
So we can sell it with different size HLT, different size mash tun, different size kettle for different batch sizes that people want to produce. We can sell it with 1 pump, so you can just batch sparge. We can sell it with 2 pumps, so that you can fly sparge. We can talk customers through the whole of those different methods. But basically, this would suit a customer who wants to be completely hands-on during the brewing process, and other customers that might want to start with just the kettle and they use that for brewing a bag. And then once they've got used to that system, it's so expandable because you can use that same kettle and you just add the other vessels to it.
So in summary then, those all-in-one systems that I started with and that are very popular at the moment in the market, they're built with convenience in mind, aren't they? And fitting around other things in your world. This system is hands-on. You're going to be completely immersed into the brewing process and enjoy every element of it.
Well, exactly that. I'm not taking anything away from the single vessel systems. They produce work and they do it really easy. It's fantastic. This is a little bit different.
Right, Rob, I'm a magpie as much as the next brewer at home, right?
Yep.
We love shiny things. Stainless steel is definitely our vibe.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that here. Each of these things will do a very specific job though. Do you want to just talk me through it?
Yeah, sure. So first thing is, stainless steel, absolutely fantastic, love it, but it has to be shiny with a proper purpose, tried and tested, and these products are. Brief overview, we've got a hot liquor tun. This is where you heat up your entire volume of liquid that you're going to use throughout the brewing process, and that's why in this configuration this is the biggest vessel, because the most amount of liquor that you're going to have in any of these vessels is in the hot liquor tun, because you're losing liquor throughout the brewing process. We then have a mash tun. Obviously that's where your grains are soaked in liquor for a set amount of time, and then we have the boil kettle at the end, and then we have a plate chiller and a couple of pumps in this configuration.
Also, Rob, I see that some of these kettles have got elements built into them and some don't. What's that about?
Yeah, we're electric brewing here. We can supply different size elements for different brewing needs. So normally the bigger the vessel that you're trying to heat up, the bigger the power of the element needs to be. So we've got a 70 litre hot liquor tun here, and this has got a 2.75 kilowatt element.
Okay.
If you were using a 50 litre hot liquor tun, you could get away easily with a 2 kilowatt element, and that does give you a couple of benefits, the 2 kilowatt elements, because they can easily be controlled with an Inkbird. Literally plug and play. Temperature control for a 2 kilowatt element in any vessel.
Okay, fab. And that will just run then off of a normal standard plug at home as well, right?
Exactly that. Yeah, exactly that. Just plug the element into the Inkbird. You've got the temperature controlled, the probe on the Inkbird. Dangle that in, and plug the temperature in, and it will hold it at that temperature.
Fab. Okay. And then the middle one doesn't have a element in, okay, the mash tun, but down in the boil kettle,
Yeah.
we've got 2 elements in this one.
The reason for 2 elements, it's going to take more than 2 kilowatts to bring it up to boil quickly.
Yep.
All right, so we put 2 2-kilowatt elements in there. The idea is that both can be used to bring it up to boil, and then actually 1 2-kilowatt element will keep a nice rolling boil.
Yep. And that's in this configuration.
That's
okay?
in this configuration.
Yeah.
If you're going bigger, you could have 1 2-kilowatt element and 1 2.75 kilowatt element.
Yeah.
And we do 6 kilowatt elements as well. So that requires a greater electricity demand that brewers might not have at their home or might not want to put that in to start off with. That's why the 2 and the 2.75 kilowatt elements are just fantastic.
The mash tun, though, there's no element in there. So what's the deal with controlling temperature in that?
Yeah, you can't put an element directly in a mash tun because we're going to be basically scorching grain. So it causes quite a few different issues. We can't have an element inside the mash tun.
Okay.
All right, so we are having what's called a Herms system.
Okay, what's Herms?
Okay, so the idea is that you drop the mash liquor out of the mash tun into a different vessel that is heated in some way and then pumped back into the mash tun.
Okay.
Under temperature control, done with an ink bird.
Yeah.
Allowing you to do step mashes, but it also allows the mash tun to not be insulated. You don't need to insulate it because you're heating the mash liquor in a separate vessel.
Are there different ways of being able to do that?
Sure, and we have this argument quite a lot. You can put what we call a Herms coil, so you could put that into the hot liquor tun, and you could run your mash liquor from the mash tun because you're heating your liquor up in here anyway. You can pump the mash liquor through a coil that's mounted inside your hot liquor tun.
Okay.
Right, I feel, and this is where many arguments can start, but I feel that you may want to increase the temperature of your mash quicker than you can heat the liquor inside your inside your hot liquor tun.
Yeah, because there's a lot of liquor in there, right?
You might be doing 50 litres in here, and it takes a little while longer. So we can provide a 12 litre Herms kettle. So you're only heating 12 litres of water with a 2 kilowatt element. It's super quick.
Yeah.
So you can do those steps really quickly,
Okay.
which is desirable in some mash situations.
And that's the little guy that's down the bottom there, right?
He's a cutie. We absolutely love our little 12 litre Herms kettle. Stainless steel coil mounted in the lid. You fill the kettle with water. You control the temperature of the wort returning to the kettle on an ink bird, which it just works absolutely brilliantly.
Whilst we're looking at the bottom as well, there's a couple of other bits down here. We've got a couple of pumps. So this system's set up to have 2 pumps.
Yeah.
You mentioned that we can supply it with 1 pump or 2. What do we need to know about pumps?
Right, it's just down to the customer's choice. Okay, so you can batch sparge. So if you're batch sparging, you're only ever actually moving liquid between 2 vessels. So if you're doing that, you can get away with just using 1 pump. However, if you want to fly sparge, then you're going to need 2 pumps because you're pumping from the hot liquor tun to the mash tun, and you're pumping from the mash tun to the boil kettle all at the same time.
Right.
So
Okay.
you're requiring 2 pumps.
Yeah. Okay. Fab. And then the last thing we've got on this amazing setup is the chiller down here, right?
Yeah, plate chiller. Absolutely so efficient. It's a replication of a commercial brewery. It's what they use.
Yeah.
The plate chillers are absolutely fantastic. You don't need to pump the liquor through the chiller. You actually, just on gravity alone is absolutely fine. And we set the kettle up with a whirlpool system so that you can whirlpool at the end of the boil, then you can drop the wort through the plate chiller en route to your fermenter. It works brilliantly.
Rob, I have to say, now I've got a far better understanding of brewing on a 3-vessel system.
Yeah.
Having never done it before, I'm really excited now to actually, at some point in the not too distant future, spend a day with you, brew on this, right? That would be great fun.
Yeah, exactly. And don't forget as well that it's completely configurable. So we have kettles right from 25 litre up to 100 litre. So we can make the system exactly right for each individual customer's needs. And don't forget that we're completely on hand the whole time. If you've got any questions about how to configure it, we're here to help. So if you're interested in brewing on a 3-vessel system, or indeed are actually brewing on a 3-vessel system, we'd really like to know your hints, tips and advice. If so, please put them in the comments below.
And if you've enjoyed this video, please make sure that you give us a like, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell for notifications. And of course, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter.
Have a great brew.